I think there has been a lot of signs of the rise of racism, the rise of Islamophobia, the rise of anti-Semitism, and the rise of abuse against people. But I also think there's been a big increase in anti-racist activity and that sense of solidarity in communities in this country and across Europe. Yes, there has been a rise of far-right parties in Poland and Hungary and Austria, Germany and Czech Republic. But it's also fascinating the strength of feeling, particularly of young people across Europe who do not want to see any rise in racism. When the AfD got a rise in their vote in Berlin, I was so impressed with the young people that came out straight away to say none of this is done in our name, we'll stand together for a community of one. Fantastic. But we can never be complacent about this because the racists prey on fear. They prey on concerns, they prey on insecurity. And unless the labour movement can offer an economic strategy that deals with inequality, that provides jobs, that spends what is necessary on health, on education, on housing, on GP services and all the other things, then the racists will come round using their spurious claims about the reasons for shortages. There's shortage of housing, you know why? We're not building enough houses. There's a shortage of doctors, you know why? We're not training enough doctors. Do you know why there's a waiting list in hospitals? Because we're not spending enough on hospitals. Do you know why there's oversized classes in schools? Because we're not employing enough teachers. Many people have moved to this country and made their homes here. The Windrush generation came from 1948 onwards, but there were black people in Britain for decades, no, centuries before that. They're the ones that built our health service. They're the ones that run our transport system. They're the ones that have worked in our heavy industries and lots of other places. They're the ones who suffered the most appalling abuse and discrimination in the 1950s. Gradually, that strength brought about anti-racist legislation, brought about that sense of cohesion within the labour movement. And then Theresa May, the Tory government, deliberately create a hostile environment, deliberately sent go-home vans around the streets, and then the Windrush scandal erupted as a result of it. My standard of living, your standard of living, my standard of healthcare, your standard of healthcare depends on people that have come to this country and given their lives to our National Health Service. I say thank you. You are welcome. Very strong anti-racist legislation, but also audits on discrimination in employment, gender and ethnicity audits, and a change in the way in which we view the world and teach history in our schools. So Dawn Butler has proposed that we set up the Emancipation Education Trust so that we look at the history of how slavery was ended. We look at the way in which colonialism was framed and has changed our world and changed the perceptions of people's lives, and understand that the science you and I benefit from, the education and maths and everything else that we all benefit from, came from Europe, yes, it came from Mesopotamia, came from Africa, came from China, came from India, came from Latin America. We're one world where we all contribute to that sense of understanding and knowledge, and we're stronger when we understand each other's faiths and each other's cultures. I represent a constituency where there are probably 70 different languages spoken, maybe more. I'm proud of that, and I'm proud to meet people from all over the world and people from all over this country and people who have lived in my area all of their lives. And you know what? They get on with each other because they respect each other. It's not tolerance, it's respect, and respect is the key word in this matter.